This morning on Let's Chat, we are gearing up and getting you ready for March Madness. We are also going to gear up for March Madness and all the food we're going to eat with Papa John's.
Yum.
And we're going to tell you about a seminar you might want to know if you're thinking about buying or selling your home with our friends from Keller Williams.
Welcome to Let's Chat, the Tennessee Valley's premier show focusing on lifestyle and entertainment with Jess Raby and Chip Chapman, bringing you smart shopping tips, community events, and the newest trends. Now, let's chat.
Well, good Thursday morning. It is March 21st. I'm Jess Raby. Chip is off this morning, so Kay is joining me.
Glad to be here this morning. Good morning. How are you?
I know I'm cutting into your lunch break.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right. Hey, I'm ready for a little basketball. Are you ready?
Yes.
Today starts March Madness. It's going to be live on CBS starting around noon. We are really excited about it. A lot of great games coming up.
We've been talking about the brackets, and Chip and I said we were going to do a bracket against each other. But this is the current status of our brackets. They're still empty. We're not quite there yet. But
you'll get there.
We'll have it done by noon.
Yes.
You can be our witness that they will be finished before noon, so we don't cheat or anything.
Lots of great games. Anybody you're pulling for?
Well, I got to pull for my Vols, right?
Your Vols,
Have
yes.
you seen the bracket
Yes.
going on social media that has, like No One Cares, whoever, and there's like Vols, Vols, Vols?
Yes.
We'll try to
Yes.
post it on our Facebook page if you haven't seen it, but it's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know yet. I haven't decided, other than the Vols.
I'm
What about
going
you?
with Duke. I don't know.
Duke?
We'll see.
Okay.
I love Duke basketball. We'll see. I don't know. I'm ready. Are you ready, Chris?
See,
We're ready. We're ready for the game.
we should have played.
Maybe. I enjoyed playing basketball in high school, but as far as college goes, no, wasn't good enough for that.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy watching the games, and I think we're going to get a preview of
We
the games.
are. I was going to say a lot of games starting. Of course, tip-off for the first game is at noon right here on Channel 12. Let's take a look at what we can expect over the next coming days.
Fairleigh Dickinson became the first school to advance. They beat Prairie View A&M 82-76. They face Gonzaga Thursday. In the nightcap, it was Belmont over Temple, the Owls losing, and there are two more play-in games tonight. But the real action really starts tomorrow. That's when the full slate of games happens. So if you're still filling out your brackets, now's the time to get some insider info. Joining us once again, Sunset Station Sportsbook Director Chuck Esposito to talk about a pretty busy time for you guys this time of year, right?
It is, John. It's yay sportsbooks. I mean, it's great for us. Just the atmosphere, the crowds, they're contagious throughout the casino, so it's a lot of fun for us.
So here we have the field of 64-ish. We know there's a couple more games that are happening tonight, but this is basically it. A lot of people at home, you probably aren't familiar with the field of 64 with college basketball. You've still got that bracket though at your office. So what are some teams, some of the big heavy hitters that people should know about as they're filling out their brackets?
Well, you look at the number one seeds. There's 3 ACC teams in there. It's Duke, Virginia, North Carolina, and then Gonzaga. So
Who's Duke?
You think about 8 times there has been no number one seeds in the final, and 7 times it's been 1 versus 1. So you think about that when you fill out your bracket. There's a lot of good schools. There's a lot more parity when you look at the entire bracket. So you can bet with your heart a little bit. You can do some research, but that number 1 overall seed, Duke, looks awfully good.
Duke, the number one seed in the NCAA tournament.
You have to remember last year, the overall number one seed, Virginia, since the field got expanded in 1985, was the first number one seed ever to get beat in the first round by number 16.
Yep. We were waiting for so long. All right, let's talk about some others, some favorites, maybe some sleepers. We all like to try and find those little upsets that we can impress our coworkers with. Here's some that we see on your screen here. Let's talk about some possible upsets in the first round.
Yeah, I think that the 12-5 has always been the one. I think there's 2 of them. There's Liberty against Mississippi State, and then Oregon, who has won 8 straight games and covered 8 straight games, won all 4 games in their conference tournament. Oregon, too, against Wisconsin is getting a lot of action. So you can find a lot of different sleepers, underdogs on the board. My kind of dark horse,
talking
though.
about Wofford here.
Wofford, right. This is a team that hasn't lost since December 19th, has won 20 straight games, is 18-0 in the conference. As a number 7 seed, I think they could have been a 5 or 6. And if they happen to get by Seton Hall in Kentucky, I think they can get to the Final Four.
Wow.
And they're a triple-digit price on them. to win the tournament.
That's the kind of insight you really need. So that's your 5-12s. Wofford's a 7 against a 10 there. But what about, are we going to see another 1-16 upset this year? What do you reckon?
I don't think so.
Some real upsets.
I don't think this year. Again, I think some of the 5-12s we talked about. Virginia has to be nervous. Last year they were over a 20-point favorite when they got beat. This year it's the same thing. But there's so many good schools out there. I think there's so much more parity. You can make a case for New Mexico State, UC Irvine, a lot of these teams that maybe guests don't know a lot about or bettors don't know. Buffalo, Wofford, I think there is some value with those schools.
Here are some of your 4 main long shots here: UC Irvine, Cincinnati, the Seminoles, and Virginia Tech. It's going to be a busy couple of weeks for you guys, I guess, right?
It's going to be great. Again, the crowds, the atmosphere, so many guests come out just because it's so much fun. I have more requests for seats this weekend than I do for that big football game in February.
Which one is that?
I can't remember. It's kind of in the past.
The Outback Bowl, I'm pretty sure he's talking about. Well, Chuck, thanks for joining us this morning. Some insight on the bracket. Good luck filling them out when you're head to the office today. And you can also play against us as well and show off to us. We're back right after this here on Good Day.
You should see our newsroom right now. The sheets are everywhere, and everybody thinks they're going to win. We'll have to see what happens there.
Well, and my favorite part, there's a lot of screens, obviously, in the newsroom, so we have different games on each one. But all right, so again, all the games will be kicking off at noon today, running all the way through the rest of today and tomorrow. Even the Vols game, Tennessee taking on Colgate, will be tomorrow. I think it's the 5 o'clock game right here on Channel 12 too.
I'll be watching.
All right, we'll compare our brackets.
Okay,
we'll see how we go through day one. All right, so let's switch gears a little bit, get away from basketball. We're going to revisit a little bit later in the show. And I want to tell you about this story. There was a 60-year-old plastic bottle that has been washed up and found on the beach. Stephen Fox is the person who found it. Said he was dismayed to find the weathered Dobie bottle washed up. And this is in Somerset. Burnham-on-Sea, Somerset. I have no idea where that is.
Well, the bottle dates back to the mid-1950s, but it is not known how long it has been in the sea. Amazing there. We're talking about recycling, and it's a big part of our everyday life right now. Can you imagine 60 years out in the ocean to wash up? That's the problem. Folks will bring them and just leave them by the beach, and then they get up washed up there, and then you have problems with the animal marine life.
And most people think that, it's going to disintegrate because we think everything disintegrates over time. But this is just proof that, not everything does. 60 years. And it doesn't even look like it's 60 years old by any means. It's crazy.
You can use glass. That's a good thing.
Yes. Definitely. I'm all for recycling and using proper, choices for the environment, I guess you could say.
This next story will give me nightmares.
You liked this one earlier today.
Oh my goodness gracious. Check this out, folks. A homeowner in Texas discovered a slithering problem lurking beneath this house. 45 live rattlesnakes. The animals were found in the crawl space under this house in Albany, and the homeowner crawled under his home after to look at his cable service. Apparently it was disrupted, and he saw the snakes, and as you can imagine, he quickly crawled back out. There would be a for sale sign in my yard that day.
I would never be back in that house. Y'all know I don't do, I can't even look, I can't even watch this video because I can't even look at a picture of a snake. And
the shadow of the snake opening his mouth as well. I can't believe he didn't know about this.
I mean, well, how often do you crawl into your house though?
I guess you would think you would hear something.
Yeah, because I have anyway, all right. I don't do snakes. Better him than me, but nope. All right. We've got a lot coming up this half hour. Like we said, we are going to dive into what you need to eat to celebrate March Madness with the help of Papa John's.
Yum.
And we're also going to check in with our friends from Keller Williams Realty in Chattanooga. A seminar come up if you're buying or selling a home. Some information you might want to know. All of that plus much more coming up after this break.